Hi there, this is Robert with Pivot Up Digital, and we're talking today about local SEO and the overview. Without the spammy sales tactics and the dark art of SEO, and I get it that business owners are bombarded each and every day with phone calls and emails from all the marketing experts and giving the public these ambiguous statistics of SEO and how they can actually help you, making grand promises and delivering only basics of the basics, basically only dust. So here is the flip side of local SEO and the Google My Business, citation building, the profile setup, and at the same time, we're going to be talking about different necessities when it comes to the changes that Google is doing currently and the critical updates that the public needs to know, and in very simple terminology for each and every small and medium-sized business owner to understand. Now, the biggest thing is when it comes to a relationship between a business owner and a marketing agency, there has to be good communication practices in place. In other words, there's got to be a set expectations of both parties from what the agency is offering and the business owner is offering. Expectations and good communication goes two ways. So when it comes to SEO in general, there's a macro level and there's a micro level. And being very upfront is that getting onto Google's #1 page, it takes time. Somebody that is promising anybody with a Google My Business and citations and SEO, local SEO, whether it be micro or macro, if they are promising you to get on Google first page very, very fast, and I'm talking within under a month, expectations are set too high because it takes time and people don't seem to understand when you, even if you're running Google ads, it takes time. So here is where managing the expectations from both parties comes to be in play, and be very, very open and upfront about it. So building trust between an agency and a business owner does take time. When it comes to somebody running your local SEO, there are the general SEO experts, which basically means jack of all trades, master of nothing, because each industry, each market, each niche has different terminology, different lingo. So let's move on here with the slideshow about local SEO, okay? We live in an online world. Everybody knows that. The way people discover and look for your businesses is not only more and more happening with Google voice search. So there's no more local traditional advertising, as you can see right here. Online reviews, you got no recommendations or any ratings is going to affect your ranking. Online is driving offline sales. 97% of consumers search online to find a local business, and it's usually through voice search, because who wants to type into that little square onto their mobile device? 70% of mobile local search results in offline purchases. That's from ComScore. 64% of consumers say they check online reviews before even visiting or wanting to do business. So high-performing local businesses are ahead of the curve. Now, SMBs just basically means small businesses. Now, they're 2.8 times more likely to enjoy revenue growth than those who do not take advantage of SEO locally through GMB and citations. So failure to adopt is no longer an option. With these changes that Google is making, removing third-party cookies, guess what? Your data is still going to be tracked and it's being put into buckets. I did a video earlier in the week about the flock. If you need that, just Google into FLOC. You'll find out more information about that. So 70% of local businesses fail by their 10th year of business. And that's from Canadian Industry Statistics 2020. So here's a case study. I don't like case studies. I do not, because of the mere fact, if I show a case study to somebody and those results were, say, from 6 months ago, or let's even be more realistic, let's say within the last month, and I got a case study that was done a month ago, there's no guarantee that those same results are going to happen today if I ran something, no matter what it is. Could be a Google ad, it could be a Bing ad, it could be a Yahoo, it could be whatever. There's no guarantee I am going to get those same results from the previous month or even from the previous 2 weeks because of all these changes. So I do not believe in case studies. They're bombarded out there from a lot of these marketing people. But like I say, big promises and it usually turns to dust. So again, the problem is these case studies. Just be cautious when you see case studies from anybody that claims that this is what we've done, but find out what the date was. And I can pretty much say that very safely that if it was something even 2 weeks ago, don't guarantee yourself the thought. Don't even entertain the thought they're going to get the same results for you. So why is local SEO so important? Because it's the best way to market your local business in the local area. Just putting yourself out there with a website and not updating on a regular basis your SEO keywords. You just don't set it and forget it. This has to be maintained on a month-to-month basis. I see so much SEO on website that I look into the back end and I see their SEO tags and I see that it has not changed from the time that I looked. It could be 3 months ago, it could be 6 months ago, it could be a year ago. Local SEO, whether you're doing local or even if you're doing macro SEO, it has to be updated monthly. It changes, just like Google does. So Google does want to provide the best results possible. That's what they're there for. Take advantage of it, people. So how does Google decide which businesses to rank the highest? Well, it's right here: proximity, relevance, and prominence. So proximity. Let's say you're in Langley, British Columbia in Canada. You want to take advantage of local SEO for your specific industry, your specific niche market, whatever it may be. But there is a science behind this. It's just not plug out a website and hope for the best with the word Langley in it. It's got to be relevant. And the prominence comes into is what are the reviews you're getting? Google reviews. You could be getting Pilot Trust reviews. You could be getting Yelp reviews. Prominence means the heavyweight. Proximity explained. Google uses a location for a person doing the searching. So in other words, what that really means is somebody is using voice search and they're looking for a painter in the Langley area. They could be saying painter near me. Well, if you don't have your local SEO set up and updated on a regular basis, guess what? The chances of you being found are extremely slim. It's possible, yes, but very unlikely. So again, the relevance. How relevant is the search term to your business? So relevance could be painting contractor, painting commercial, commercial painter, residential painter, painter for residential, painter for homes. Relevancy is important when it comes to SEO. Prominence. What is the authority of the local business? Again, we're talking about the signals like reviews and links to decide a business prominence and prominence. So what I'm saying is backlinks, citations. So when it comes to local Pathfinder ranking factors, there's so many things that are involved, and I'm not going to get into the technicalities of it, but this is very, very simplistic way of looking at things. Now, Google My Business has 45% of the signals. So think of it this way: Google My Business, otherwise known as GMB, is your new home. So it's your new real estate, and it's vital for your local search. If you're looking for landscaper in Burnaby, you got to have a presence with the proper setup of your Google My Business. If you don't have it well optimized for a Google My Business listing, it's practically impossible to succeed in a local search. At Pivot Up Digital, here's our approach. We have to use, and we must use, no matter what agency, they got to use the Google's Keyword Planner amongst several other tools that we do utilize at Pivot Up Digital. We evaluate all business categories. We use a host of so many different ways to pull you above your competitors, because we can look at what your competitors are using for keywords by special techniques to find out what keywords they're using, how long have they been updating their keywords for local SEO, and we implement them into your Google My Business and your citations. We ensure your profile is accurate. So in other words, it's called NAP, acronym NAP. Your name, your address, and your phone number is congruent through everything on the internet. We will write Google posts for you to improve your profile relevancy, to drive not only clients to your listing, but getting you increased revenues. We also monitor your Google Q&A to improve your profile. So in other words, we will take care of questions that come up through the Google My Business. We have to put in pretty images. Well, I call them compelling, but either way, there's got to be activity to be able to maximize your Google My Business. Link signals, that's the backlinks, 20% of links from other websites to your website. As a local business, you want to have links that are relevant to your location and your industry. You just don't want a backlink coming from Yelp or just from HomeStars if you're listed in HomeStars or Home, whatever it may be for your industry. Those are not enough. Critical signals, minimum, and I'm talking minimum citations for backlinks should be at least 50. And I dare anybody to challenge me on that one. So our approach is we build powerful links on your local and niche directories. We reach out to local businesses and charities, business associations, and so forth. We target local clubs and groups. We also reach out to bloggers to highlight you, possibly as a featured business. So review signals 65% because we live online and consumers dictate how successful your business is going to be. How does that work? Well, it's very simple. The old day was we would reach out to one of our clients that we've done business with and we'd say, hey, could you give us a testimonial? We'd pop it on a review and put it on YouTube or whichever it may be. But now it's the other way around. The public is putting out reviews without us even knowing it, unless that is monitored of what we do at Pivot Up Digital. The customers are dictating how successful your business is going to be, which results in how you are going to generate new clients. So what does that come down to? If they see a negative review, they're going to take that seriously. And you know something, once that review's out there, it's pretty much impossible to remove it. It is possible, but it takes a long time. Nothing is done like Dorothy from that Wizard of Oz, click your heels and voila. It doesn't work that way. It takes work. They also We also offer as a key ranking signal for Google when you clean up this nap I was mentioning. This is very, very important. So again, we have to have intelligent reporting. We run full audits on each and everything for reviews. We benchmark against your competitors to keep an eye on what you are trying to accomplish and maximize that above and beyond your competitors. This allows us to identify the gaps between what you have reached, what they are reaching for, and we implement that into your listing on Google My Business along with the citations and local SEO. So again, we're talking about on-page signals, which is the SEO, like, Langley Painting Contractors, Langley Residential Painters. So again, it's all about the metrics and optimizing the signals. So very, very, very important. Now, here's where we're going to talk a lot more about citations. Citations, you need a minimum of 50. Backlinks are imperative for authority. Domain ranking to get noted faster. And again, it takes time, not within a month. You have to be linked to a website that has a domain ranking of a minimum of 50. Anything under 50, it's not even worth listing on. So we run full audit on the citations to make sure we're going to the right websites. How we work is that the first month we're going to build a unique report detailing the current performance. Then we review it in another meeting with you. We execute another strategy into the second month. I recommend you contact us at Pivot Up Digital. And people should not take this lightly because of the mere fact we are very good at what we do. And I know there's a lot of people out there making a lot of promises, but look at it this way. When you see somebody out there saying, we're going to set up your Google My Business and we're going to do the citations, and it's a cheap price, I'll put it. That's the only way I can put it, is it's a cheap price. You're going to get cheap results. But I'm not saying that if you spend a ton of money, you're going to get better results. You got to realize is that a lot of these people that are out there promising a Google My Business with top of the line SEO, top of the line citations, and they got a very, very minimum price, you better question it. If you need more information about how we do Google My Business and we implement the citations and our price, I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. This is Robert with Pivot Up Digital here in the local Burnaby, Canada area. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll talk to you very soon.